You know, we all have our favorite snacks, but have you ever stopped to think about where they actually come from? Today, we are cracking open the incredible story of the cashew nut. And trust me, its journey from a tree to your snack bowl is way more wild and complicated than you could ever imagine.
So let me start with a question for you. What if I told you that the raw cashew, right off the tree, is actually toxic? Yeah, no joke. That creamy, delicious nut we all love is locked inside a shell that can literally burn your skin. Pretty wild, right? So where does this whole story kick off? Well, in India, which is one of the world's biggest cashew processors, the cashew tree wasn't originally planted for food at all. It was actually brought in for a totally different reason, as a brilliant piece of environmental engineering. Get this, the cashew tree isn't even from India. Portuguese traders brought it over from Brazil, all the way back in the 16th century. And the goal wasn't to harvest nuts, it was to stop soil from washing away during the heavy monsoon rains. Those deep roots were perfect for the job. It took a long, long time before people really figured out the edible gold hidden inside, but once they did, India became a global powerhouse for cashews.
The plant itself is really unique. You see, the cashew tree gives us two things. First, you've got the cashew apple. It's this pulpy, sweet thing that's technically a false fruit. But then, and this is the cool part, hanging right off the bottom of it, like a little boxing glove, is the main event, the cashew nut itself. That's the real seed, and it's protected by that nasty toxic shell we talked about.
So, how in the world do we get from a dangerous, toxic shell to a delicious, safe-to-eat snack? Well, it's not easy. It is a genuine ordeal, a whole multi-stage process that takes a ton of heat, precision, and some serious skill.
The big problem is this caustic oil inside the shell. This is exactly why you never ever see cashews being sold in their shells like you would with peanuts or pistachios. That oil is no joke. It can cause really bad burns. So processing these nuts isn't just about getting them open, it's a matter of safety. The whole transformation is basically a 5-step dance. First, they have to be roasted or steamed to make that hard outer shell brittle. Then, and this is tricky, workers have to carefully crack open that toxic shell without breaking the valuable nut inside. After that, skilled peelers, most of whom are women, have to manually take off that thin brown skin. And only then are the nuts graded for quality and finally packaged up to be shipped out. I mean, think about it. That is an incredible amount of work for just one little nut. All right, so to see how this all comes together in the real world, let's take a look inside a company that has totally mastered this process. Hindustan Mukta Cashew Processing, or HMCP for short. So here they are. HMCP was founded back in 2002, and their story really mirrors the journey of the entire Indian cashew industry. They found that perfect sweet spot, blending traditional hands-on skill with modern automated machines to become a really big deal in the market. And their growth has been absolutely off the charts. The founder literally started in a tiny garage in 2002, delivering cashews on his bike. By 2010, the company had automated and became HMCP. Fast forward to today, they employ over 100 people and process a mind-blowing 250 tons of cashews every single month. Okay, but what about the business side of things? How does that work? Well, it all boils down to a super strict international grading system and some key numbers that spell the difference between profit and loss. So how do you figure out what a cashew is worth? It's all about the grade. The W just means the nut is whole. The number tells you how many nuts it takes to make up 1 pound. So a W180 is called the king of cashew because they're huge and premium. It only takes 180 of them to make a pound. The one you probably see most often is the W320. Then, of course, you've got splits and brokens, which are great for cooking, but aren't worth as much. For any company, this right here is the holy grail, the break-even point. It's that magic moment where you've sold just enough to cover all your costs. After that, every single sale is pure profit. And this graph from HMCP's own books shows us exactly what that magic number is for them. And that number for HMCP is 1,004 tons. Just let that sink in for a second. They have to process and sell more than 1,000 tons of cashews in 1 year just to pay the bills. Everything they sell after that is what makes the business successful. So what does this actually mean for their business? Well, since HMCP processes about 3,000 tons a year, they are operating way, way above their break-even point.
This gives them a massive 66.5% margin of safety, which is really just a fancy business term that means they have a very healthy, very stable, and very profitable operation. But the story of the cashew is so much bigger than just business and profits. This little nut has a huge impact on communities and, of course, on our health. Let's talk about the social side. The cashew industry employs a massive number of people, especially women in rural areas. And as this quote points out, the money they earn from peeling these nuts isn't just a little extra cash. For many, it is the primary income that supports their entire family. It pays for food, for their kids' education, for healthcare. It's everything. So really, the next time you grab a handful of cashews, just take a second to think about this. Every single one of those perfect little kernels has passed through the skilled hands of dozens of people. It's a testament to human effort, all the way from the farmers to the workers who turn it into the snack we all love. And hey, as if that wasn't enough, they are also ridiculously good for you. I mean, cashews are a total nutritional powerhouse. They're loaded with heart-healthy fats, key minerals like copper and magnesium, plus they're a great source of protein. It's one of those snacks that feels like a treat, but is also doing your body a world of good. So there you have it. From a tool to fight erosion, to a toxic nut, and finally to a global delicacy that empowers entire communities, the cashew has been on quite a ride. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday things in our lives are hiding stories that are just as surprising?